my grandmother had a friend. She was a next door neighbor that lived next to him for some time, and they were good friends, and they kept in touch because she moved away for some reason. Then she moved to Texas, didn't like it there, moved somewhere else, didn't like it there, and then moved back to where she was originally from. And these are just a few stories about her. One, for graduation, when my sister graduated, she got her a bunch of stuff. She bought her a bunch of handbags, purses, and gave her some money, and talked mad shit about, oh, just wait until you graduate. I'll get you this great gift. It's going to be this great thing, and you're going to love it. I said, okay, whatever. And every time I'd see her, because I was 2 years younger than my sister, she'd mention it and talk about it. Well, 2 years goes by, and I don't get jack squat for graduation. She must have forgot about it. But she calls my sister and asks if she can borrow one of the handbags she gave her 2 years ago to go to a bat mitzvah in New York. And my sister is not really a fashionista. She's not really hung up on having the latest and greatest handbags. She didn't know what she's going to do with 5 of them. She's just not the type, and low maintenance. I think she gave some of them to friends, but that old lady expected her to find it, and my grandmother was essentially like, well, you need to find it so she can borrow it. She gave it to you, and my dad was like, this is the most ridiculous request I've ever heard. You give somebody something, and then 2 years later, you ask them to borrow it, and expect them to just have it, and she didn't have it, and nothing came of it. And a little later on, she was pulling the car into the garage, and her husband was guiding her, and she ran him over with the car and broke his leg. And he subsequently had some issues and lost his leg. And then, just to literally add insult to injury, she burned his other leg with the heating pad she was using for his now legless part, and he nearly lost his other leg. And this gets to the definitive story about her. I graduated college, and my sister graduated grad school, and she sent us both a card, because nothing, when you have siblings, you hate more than gifts for both of you or all of you. That is a cop-out and a shitty gift, and I cannot stand it when people do that. All this was for both of you. But she gave us $10 for the two of us, and it was a $10 bill, and neither of us had change. And I know I should be thankful, and it was a gift. It was more money than you had. Yeah, I know. But it was really kind of a lousy gift. It wasn't well thought out. But I went to their house and personally thanked them. Spent about 3 hours there. She was a big talker, so she wouldn't just let me leave. She wanted to talk and show off her husband's chairlift he had to use. And another thing was, the hospital may or may not, I don't know the full story, have botched his leg and made it where that was why he had to have the leg removed. So they were loudly suing the hospital for $100 million. And my grandmother trusted every word she said, so she was like, she's going to get it. Even though it was very unlikely they were going to get 1 red cent, but she just saw it as, oh, well, she's going to get that money. She's going to cut us in and everything. And she thought about it and looked forward to it, which my grandmother's never had much money, so the prospect of getting any would have been great. And so went to that lady's house, thanked her in person, but my sister sent a thank you card. Well, I didn't send one because I went and thanked her in person. That should do the trick. But oh no, she noticed. She's like, yes, Sarah sent me a thank you card. That's my sister. And they said, oh, well, I didn't get one from me. And my grandmother was not having that. She wanted me to send that thank you card. Because the way she saw it, if I didn't send that thank you card, she would get that lawsuit money, not give us any, because I didn't thank her for that whole $10 she gave us. And I fought her on that deal. I fought hard. I said, I am not sending a thank you card. Are you going to give her this hard of a time when I need a thank you card for the thank you card? That's another story. There's times when you need to send them, but in this case, I thought not. And I fought her pretty hard. She even got out a card and handed me a pen, tried to guilt me, did everything in between. She didn't bring up all the shitty things I did, like the alarm clock and the peach, but that wouldn't have worked anyway. And then finally, my uncle's just like, look, I'll just sign it, and she won't know any better, so that'll be the end of it. And I just couldn't get over that it was so important that she got a thank you card. And then there was other stuff too, like my grandmother was way too trusting of her friend's judgment. She'd give her medical advice and she'd take it over a doctor's. Like, why are you taking her medical advice? Oh, she has a lot of medical books. So that makes her more knowledgeable than a medical professional. And then finally, one time, my uncle said, if she told you to rub shit on your face, you do it and you just say how great the shit was. So, not to say she was a bad person. This lady was really nice, and God rest her soul, she died. It's just a few funny bits of some of the stuff she used to do.